What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson back once again here from Central North Carolina. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video today. We've got a quick one for you on this. I think I'm going to release this on Wednesday. I wanted to talk about that at the top of the video here, that I think, here lately we've kind of only been doing 2 videos a week. I think I like that. I think that's appropriate. Trying to rush 3 is just, it's a lot of work, and really it doesn't give the videos time to breathe, if you will. It doesn't give folks time to watch, because you're cramming so many out there, and I think those days of my channel are over. I'm trying to only do 2 a week, and so I think throwing them on Fridays and Mondays, you're jamming them right there together. So we're going to try to go Wednesday, Friday. We'll see how that works out. Let me know in the comments below if you like that. I saw some requests in the comments about the Velocity PM. So let's make a wrap-up video for this season about Velocity PM on our POA Triv, on our POA Annua, and how did that do. And I'm going to give you my fair and honest assessment of what I've seen in Central North Carolina with a tall fescue lawn. This is my view. This is what I think the pros are and the cons are. I haven't sat down and wrote a list. We're going to go and I'm going to show you the areas, and I think it's going to be positive and negative, if I'm going to be straight up and honest and unbiased, which I don't, just so everybody knows that may be drive-by viewers that don't watch my channel. I try to be fair and unbiased. I'm not getting paid by the makers of Velocity PM or New Farm or any company to sell you Velocity PM. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't, don't. I don't care. Like, I'm going to show you that I've bought it, I've purchased it, I've used it, and would I use it again? Am I going to use up the bottle? Would I buy it again? Does it work? So we're going to talk about that momentarily. We had some rain yesterday. It is probably 55 degrees right now, maybe about 58, 59. I've got t-shirt on and I'm not shivering, so it's not bad. We did a mow Friday morning before I went down to Wilmington and hung out with my brother. So the lawn's looking beautiful. It is very, very much, all of our shade has come in, guys. So you can see above, the trees are very full now. We are at the point in almost May, if not in May now. It's the weekend, so I'm not sure, but I think this is definitely May. Our shade is heavy right now, so that's good for these areas like the Mountain View seed in the back. Hopefully that'll make it sustain and last a little longer, but it can sometimes be difficult to get water back there, and when you do get water back there, if it doesn't evaporate or soak in, it can cause fungus, it can thin out, so it's still a challenge. But man, overall the lawn is looking great. Let's talk about, let's just jump into Velocity PM now, and let's look at this. The lawn, obviously I haven't done a lot of side-to-side mows in my lawn, but anyways, we got a little bit of rain on Saturday. I really, guys, I'm looking at a rain gauge, and I'm torn because I need to know how much water did we get. I want to know that, and I'm torn between a weather station that's going to do multiple things, rain gauge, and it's digital, and you can just look at it on the phone and say, hey, at the house it's doing this, that, and other. I know you got to mount it and all this stuff, but in the comments let me know what your thoughts are. I thought about just a rain gauge, just an old-fashioned with the float, and where should I put that thing, but let me know in the comments below. So we did get some rain Saturday. It wasn't a ton. It's about a half day, and it wasn't hard rain. We got the slow, steady rain, so that should really help out the lawn a lot. It is cooler as well, so we're like back in like this spring temperature where I don't think we have to really go hard on fungicides. But anyways, that's where we are back here. But let's start reviewing Velocity PM. And for those that may not, for those that have been keeping up, you know that I did 2 applications. I did not do 3. I did 2 applications of Velocity PM. We did them at the rates that the label said. We had POA Annua popping up in sporadic places, mainly in our front yard. We had some POA Triv over here in this area a little bit, and also in the side over here by the water hose. Now, I think this is POA Triv, and I want to say that it did not take this out. Now, this looked matted down. It looked affected by the Velocity PM that we sprayed, but I still see what I believe to be, and now this is a caveat to, if this is not POA Triv, well then clearly it's not going to kill it. And I know the lighting seems really bad here, but I don't know if you guys can tell the difference like between this GCI grass over here on the left and this lighter shade of what I think is POA Triv on the right. I did spray this. I want to say I hit it good. I mean, just like everything else in the lawn, but it did not take it out. Now, this is Poa trivialis. Poa trivialis spreads. We're talking about an expensive Velocity PM herbicide which targets both and is supposed to suppress and kill it with multiple applications, not just one, but we did do 2, and I definitely sprayed this area twice. It did recover, and so this is one of the negatives of Velocity PM, I think, on my side. Either number one, I didn't hit it with enough product, which is possible, but I did hit it twice with product, so if I didn't hit it enough twice, that could be a factor. You know, I do make mistakes, but this little section, I would say right here, is just totally fine now. It did thin out. So there could have been some of the Poa triv could have went down, and then some came back up, you know, between applications or after the applications. Now that we're getting into cooler weather, I don't know if that played a part or not. This has been a very weird weather type of season, and so but I'm just going to show you the results, and right here it all just looks totally fine. So again, maybe this is a better view to show you, but you can kind of see the patch right here, and it came out of it, and so that's one of my maybe it didn't work so well right here. So that's one negative, a point against Velocity PM. However, when we come over here by my water hose, I hit this part. We had Poa trivialis right here by the water hose. Absolutely was Poa trivialis because it would stick out. It was a different shade, and I hit this heavily. Like I took the sprayer and went, you know, like right over it, like twice. Boom, boom, and we did 2 applications. On this side, it took it out. You remember we also, look, it's completely gone. The light green, and I don't know if the camera and the GoPro will pick it up, but this is totally different than over in the other section. The Poa triv that was here is completely gone. It just slowly killed it, went away, and you remember we actually came over here and did some repair seeding. I showed you how to take the little garden weasel, tear up the soil, tear up the pre-emergent barrier, throw some seed down, water it. That's all I've done, walked away. I can now actually see good grass. I don't know if you can on the GoPro, but some of that seed is popping up in here. And I can see a little bit right there as well as we've gotten water. I don't know how that seed is actually, you know, come about. But all in all, it took out the Poa triv in this section right here. So what does that tell me? It tells me that more than likely I made a mistake on the other side by the other side of the house and did not apply enough product to that Poa trivialis, because it does work. I thought maybe I went too heavy on this side, or maybe I just direct sprayed it and it absorbed it quick. I don't know. I think that's a me issue, not a product issue. So what I would take from information wise is that it absolutely will take out and kill Poa trivialis. If you have a Poa triv problem, it worked. It completely took that out. If I'm misidentifying what that grass is on the other side, I think that is a possibility. So I'm trying to be fair and honest with you guys, but in everything I see where I've had Poa triv issues, I feel like it's taken it out. So that's my analysis of Velocity PM and Poa triv in my lawn here. Let's look now at where we were dealing with Poa annua. The front lawn right now is looking gorgeous, especially after we've had some rain. We did a mow on Friday. Man, the birds are singing. It just looks great. Looking fantastic. I'm going to throw this picture up on the screen. Do you guys remember when we came out in March? Man, it was looking rough. I mean, you wasn't mowing yet. All the grass is uneven. It's still kind of brown and winter brown. It's unfertilized. And then we had Poa annua in some spots. But as we begin to mow, as cooler temps came, as we fertilize, the Poa annua just kind of jumped out in my front lawn for whatever reason. We had a lot of it over here. And let me also say, before we get started looking at this real fast, we've been in a super drought mode here in central North Carolina. Super drought mode. A lot of the grass has went to seed, which means it's not Poa annua. It blends in with the Poa annua. If you have Poa, it can be very hard to tell grass head seeds from the fescue and Poa annua, the weed. So let me put that in. So if you're like, no, I see some there. So we have to distinguish, is that fescue seed or is that Poa annua? So over here, we had a major issue major issue with Poa annua. And this whole area was really, I wish I had, man, I'll try to find a picture in editing. I don't think I have one, but this entire strip, I was sitting here thinking, man, like I'm going to have to like redo this strip, because I think over in this section and then right along the edge, all we had along the edge of my grass, all we had was Poa annua. It is all completely gone. The velocity absolutely torched all of the Poa annua. This is where you can go back and watch the other update videos, but you can see now, guys, we have nothing here but grass, normal fescue grass, all the way down. And we just mowed 2 days ago. We had some rain yesterday, so we're looking good. We're fertilized, and all of that Poa has completely left. Now, the caveat to that with all of this is we're going to lose all of these cool season weeds when the temperature gets hotter. We've just came out of a stretch of 80s and 90s with lack of rain. That's not good for the Poa annua plant to survive anyways, right? So in addition to velocity PM, you're also having high heat, lack of rain. It just crisped it up and took it out. So the heat helps. And that's something else we've already addressed here in North Carolina climate. If you're going to buy velocity PM and apply it in early spring, as you go on, as you weaken it, as you target it, the sun, the high heat days are only going to help to eliminate it. And it absolutely has eliminated it. And it did it without affecting the fescue in a major way at all. The fescue just continued to shine when it was fertilized, grow, not affected at all. And it was totally different experience when I was using Fusilade, trying to target Bermuda out of the lawn. The fescue is absolutely affected by that product, and it was like a growth regulator. It just completely stopped growing everything, and it like attacked the Bermuda, but the fescue, if you over apply, it got a little too weak, and it was just it was difficult as a homeowner to try to use that, where I feel like velocity was way simpler. We put it down and it just went to work on the target weeds. We also have had a major problem, and this is the biggest one. We had a major problem all up this area. Some of this does look like Poa annua, like right here. Some of that does look like it may be a little bit left. This is grass right here for sure. But as we get up here, I want to show you, you see right here, this is all, and we got some trash that's flown in the yard. It is a little breezy, but we did have, so this is the results of some of the Poa annua that we had right here on this area. Now this area had tons of Poa annua up and down here as well. Again, it targeted 2 applications. The first one, you see it affected a little bit. The second one really starts to take it out. And if it's really being stubborn, you could hit it with a third one. I chose not to go that route. And you're doing those 2 weeks apart. It really just, again, it took out the bad plant, the Poa, and it left the fescue alone. But if it takes it out like this, you can see I never came and I never seeded here. So if you don't do reseeding, after you start seeing it brown up and take the time to come out, break up some dirt, put some seed down, then it's not just going to, magically fix itself. Either a weed's going to come up here, the pre-emergence is going to work, it's going to be bald and nothing will come here, and maybe the surrounding fescue, if you fertilize, will fill in and thicken up, maybe. But it's hard to see in the shadows, but definitely it took out, I think this is all, a lot of this I see is really just fescue seeding. It's not Poa annua. Yeah, it's not. And the rest that you can see on my bank, the browning is actually reduced with the rain yesterday, but we've had lack of rain. But it really did a good job. It really seriously did a great job on the Poa annua. I want to say it did. I didn't seed any over here in the front area though, where the grass was thicker. And I felt like when we did some fertilizer later on after that, that fescue thickened up and covered up the areas where the Poa was embedded. Here, that did not happen, so maybe it's just, it's the location. This is also beside a concrete driveway where it gets really hot. Grass doesn't really particularly like it when it's 90, 89 degrees, and the pavement is super hot. Grass don't like to grow here at that point anyways, so it could be location-based. But did it work on the Poa? Absolutely. Everywhere we sprayed it, and right now, you're seeing it, like, even with these cooler temps, I don't know how great the GoPro is working, but I've not seen a, rising Poa plant. We've seen a lot of seed heads from the fescue because of stress, but right now the lawn just looks gorgeous and fantastic. This area on the far right, we had a lot of Poa annua by this tree, which, by the way, I think I've killed this tree because I used Killzall trying to get some of the fescue out of the area that we've trimmed out here, and like an idiot, not thinking Killzall would kill the whole tree. It killed this tree. That's impressive of a product, but we're gonna have to replace this with another tree. But getting back to the Velocity PM, we had some over here, and if you remember, I came through on the areas outside of the lawn and did some Killzall to the Poa annua, and that's what all of this is. Whether it was fescue or Poa, we came and cleaned all that up. But in the lawn, we did Velocity PM, and it just went away. That's if you're dealing with a pretty thick, if you're an area like this, and you see Poa annua in the beginning of your spring, and you begin 2 applications 2 weeks apart of Velocity PM at the rates that it said in milliliters, it's just going to go away. It's just going to, you're going to forget about it and say, oh yeah, we had a big Poa patch over here. I had Poa all over the place. Where's it at? But the key is, obviously, do you have to have Velocity PM? No. Can you just wait it out until it gets hotter and the Poa goes away? Yes. If you just sow seed in your lawn in the fall and do it real thick, you can choke out a lot of that Poa from coming back next year. Yes, you can. You may, and that is exactly what I did. I've shared with you guys numerous times that when I first started my lawn care journey, when I came out here, this backyard was literally 60, 65, 70% Poa annua. That's how infested I was with Poa annua back here. And it was like 30 or 40% fescue from when my dad sowed grass seed when I was overseas and tried to come and help my wife and help me out. And he came and did my yard way back when and didn't touch it for years after that. So I had a major problem with Poa annua back here. And so I did exactly what Alan Haynes said. I tried to keep the areas where I felt like the fescue outnumbered the Poa, like this side yard over here. I never completely killed off the side yard over here. I stopped right around where the tree line is, and from there back, I killed off all of my backyard and redid all the backyard about 5 or 6 years ago with fescue. And so it's taken year after year, overseed after overseed, aeration after aeration. We now have a gorgeous backyard, and really all it is water, fertilizer, you know, and when we're in drought, trying to keep it water, trying to apply water when you need it, and do the right thing. So but anyway, sorry to be long-winded in areas, but I like to give, you know, some people like, just get to the point, does it work or not? Some people want to hear the details. Well, what's your thoughts on it? You know, I'm thinking about buying this product. What do you think? If you can afford it and you're going in with a buddy or two and you guys can afford it, I would say it's worth it. And depending on your location, if you're further north, I think it's even more worth it, because you're not going to have these hotter summers like North Carolina that's going to totally assist you in getting it out of your lawn. So having a chemical substance like Velocity PM help you is even more recommended, I would say. Here in North Carolina, you could take it or leave it. Why do I say that? Because for years, I never used Velocity PM. I just bagged my mows, waited until the heat of the season changed. The Poa annua is going to die out on its own. And it always happens here around mid to late May, depending on the type of season, and then we just go on. Up north, it may take you longer, and you deal with it. I heard somebody from Washington say, Mr. Ferguson, I deal with Poa 9 months out of the year. Well, then it would definitely, in my opinion, be worth it if you want to have Poa out of your lawn. And then when you're doing your reseeding, that's why we want to overseed thick. We want to have a thick lawn, and it will choke out weeds, and it will choke out Poa annua that tries to pop back up from those seed heads. Once we start killing it, even though we're spraying it and killing it, it's still dropping seed heads. These are the things we're trying to remember. So I hope that helps somebody out there. And please ask your questions below. If you got specific questions, I'll try to ask you. I feel like it did work on the Poa triv. It just didn't on this side for whatever reason, whether I missed it, whether I didn't spray it well enough. I don't know why that is. If it's, maybe that's not Poa triv. I think it is. It's a different type of grass, and that could be the case as well. So, but that's my honest opinion. I hope it helps somebody out there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, unsubscribe. Go find somebody better than myself. God bless you guys. See you next time.